Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the One of One Sports Show. I am your host, Tony the Savant. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you pull up to the video. All right, man. It's a very exciting time to be a Chicago basketball fan. Not for the Chicago Bulls either. As we are starting a new era in the city of Chicago, and I'm elated, very much so elated that this is happening. I'm even more happier that I got a sports platform to share these highlights and thoughts and all this kind of stuff that's going to be going down. As I do truly feel like there's a new era in women's sports amongst us. Um, but nonetheless, hope everybody's having a great day. Today we talking about two new additions to the Chicago Skies. I'm gonna say that. I redact that. Today we talking about two new additions to my Chicago Sky. That's right, y'all. Now I've been always kind of sketch and skeptical of the WNBA. I'll admit, here and now. Um, I think that a lot of the WNBA's uh, wounds are self inflicted to a degree, but I feel like this new era of young ladies that's coming into the league with Caitlin Clark, Cameron Brink, Kamilla Cardosa, and Angel Reese, and the likes of many others in this draft. I feel like this is probably going to be regarded as the greatest draft in WNBA history. Because not only are these young ladies talented, now not only do they have the accolades to back up said talent, but they have marketability. They got personalities. They have following. They have people that are going to follow them regardless of what team they play for, where they play, or what they do. From here on out, Angel Reese will be a figure in the public. And, we'll just be dealing with Angel Reese tweets and all that kind of stuff from here on to whenever. But it's only because these young ladies, again, not only do they have the talent, they have the accomplishments, and they have the marketability to get it done. So I am very excited for this new era of women's sports, especially in basketball. As the WNBA has had a very difficult time garnishing any relevancy or any attention for their league. Did you know, fun facts, that Kamilla Cardosa's very own teammate, Aaliyah Boston, her former teammate, excuse me, Leah Boston, that she has won a championship with, excuse me, went number one in last year's WNBA draft. I feel like that's a very interesting connection to this story, and seeing that these young ladies again, like uh, Rakia Jackson and somebody that I'm very excited. That was a surprise, and we're gonna have a conversation about this. Kate Martin. I think that she's an underrated player and a very underrated pickup for the Las Vegas Aces. But this whole class, the 2024 NBA, WNBA class of women that have just been drafted into the league, I feel like are going to be a force. They're going to be a movement. And if the WNBA just gets out of its way, oh man, I'm so nervous. Just did an episode, just did a video on my basketball show talking about how Joel Embiid makes me very nervous. I think that he's a very accomplished, very talented uh, athlete, basketball player, but he makes me nervous when the lights are the brightest. The WNBA makes me nervous when it comes to marketing their talent because we have seen so many uh, talented women basketball players come out of college and be literally, just kind of fall into the abyss. Like we never hear from them again. Whatever happened to Skylar Diggins Smith? You know what I mean? Whatever happened to? Maya Moore was getting busy. She stayed relevant for a long time. But did you know she just retired last year? You know what I mean? Like the WNBA does not even they don't do anything to market their talent, man. And it's kind of sad. Unless you're a diehard sports fan, and even more so a diehard basketball fan, and you got to be like a true diehard to even follow the WNBA. I mean, up until this point, you had to be. They don't market their talent at all. So my only fear for all of these young ladies is potentially bright as their future is right now. The WNBA can crash all out. They can crash this party very easily. You know what I mean? And I just got so many. I'm trying to keep those thoughts out of my head because, again, I think often about Skylar Diggins Smith when I think about women's sports and how phenomenal a talent that she was at Notre Dame. Everybody loved her. Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Kobe. Everybody loved Skylar Diggins Smith. You know what I mean? She was essentially Caitlin Clark 1.0 without, the long range jump shot. Um, well, without a consistent long range jump shot like Caitlin Clark has. Skylar Diggins Smith was a wave at one point. If you was around at that time on social media and basketball, Twitter, all that stuff, you know who Skylar Diggins was. She had a lot of name recognition when she was at Notre Dame. The day she got drafted into the WNBA, nothing. You had to be a Skylar Diggins fan to really know what the turn of events in her career. And it has been interesting. I will go into it, but this video ain't about her. You all should look into it yourself. I definitely implore you to. Um, Maybe we'll have a conversation about it in the future. But nonetheless, these young ladies coming into the Chicago Sky, my Chicago Sky, I am ecstatic. We are getting essentially the two MVPs from the previous two women's NCAA tournaments. Excuse me. The two MVPs, the two most dominant players of the previous two women's tournaments, uh, and not just dominant in the sense of performance. These ladies are leaders. They have shown that when the lights are the brightest, they elevate their game. Kamilla had a big game in the championship game. I think she put up like 15 points and 17 rebounds, I believe. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Angel Reese in her game against Iowa, she had 17 points, 20 rebounds. So you're not getting any scrubs. We're not getting any scrubs in Chicago. Um, and I believe the Sky, my favorite player with the Sky right now is Marina Mabry. She's a tough guard. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with the roster with the Chicago Sky as of yet. I did a bit of investigating. Couldn't find any information as of yet of what their game plan is going to look like with these two new additions. But I'm hoping that Mabry is involved in it. She has she's a veteran guard in the league. Uh, a constant presence. She averages about 11.6 points a game, 3 assists. Not eye popping numbers for sure, but if you see her play on the court, you definitely can see that she's a stable force. She's a leader. She's a captain. So she should be able to provide some stability for these rooks. As far as the rest of the team, we got Courtney Williams. She's a bucket. I think that a lady named Copper. I can't remember her first name, but she's a bucket. So we got some talent. We got some talent. Last season we finished eighth in the WNBA seeding. We lost to the eventual Las Vegas Aces, the champions, in the playoffs. Made the playoffs as an 8th seed. Excuse me, and lost to the eventual champions. I made some notes. Before last season, we had lost the legendary Candace Parker in free agency, as well as Courtney Vandersloot, who's another vet guard, defensive guru, stable presence. Allie Quigley, I'm not familiar with her body of work, but and Azura Steven, I'm not too familiar with her body of work. But we lost some great talent, some good pieces from the championship team. We are only 3 years now removed from our championship run that Candace Parker helped commandeer. And so these last 2 seasons, been stable, not the best team. The Chicago Sky, just in my research, I haven't been able to follow them closely these last 2 years. I followed them for the most part when Candace was there. I'm a big fan of Candace Parker, one of my go to the WNBA. But I followed her while she was with my team, and then when she left, I left essentially. So this last season, I wasn't really following and seeing what they were doing, but apparently, it kept the ship stable. Again, made the playoffs, and then now we're bringing in two young talents with bright futures. Again, post presence. I think that they both have great inside games. For Kamilla and Angel, I would hope that they, develop a jump shot of some sorts, a mid range game of some sorts. I don't think they necessarily need to have a consistent or lethal long range game. Angel Reese was not a jump shooter by any means, nor was Kamilla for the most part. Kamilla can hit some shots, but that wasn't her dominant part of her game. Angel Reese didn't seem to have a jump shot at all really during her time at LSU. I didn't really see her consistently add that to her game or utilize it if nothing else. But I do keep up with these young ladies' social medias for the most part. Seeing Angel was putting in some work before the WNBA draft, polishing her game, getting some shots in. So hopefully she ain't doing it just for social media. Hopefully Camilla is as consistent as a force as she is for the Sky, as she was, for Dawn Staley and the Gamecocks. Again, we're getting the two recent uh, MVPs of championship teams these last 2 seasons. So I feel like that kind of championship mentality, that kind of that pedigree coming to the Chicago Sky, who has one of the classier organizations of the WNBA, just coming off a championship run themselves 3 years ago. And it's kind of crazy. Chicago Sky winning in 2021. Well, the Gamecocks winning in 2022 too. That's funny. Kamilla was on that team. Angel wins in 2023, and then Kamilla wins again in 2024. So it's some championship pedigree, some championship basketball uh, in the Chicago Sky organization, and that just made me feel a little good about my girls now. Respectfully, my lady ballers. Um, so I'll be following up and definitely checking in and seeing what's going down with these young ladies. Again, you've been living under a rock. Chicago Sky chose Kamilla at 3, Angel Reese at 7. It's crazy because I projected, I was hoping that this kind of landed like this. I wasn't sure how or who was gonna land at 3. They were saying it could have been Cameron Brink. They were saying it could have been Rakia Jackson that got landed with us. I wasn't so they were saying Kamilla was gonna go number 2. They had Caitlin Clark is number 1 as far as the mock drafts that I was coming across. Even me, I didn't see why you would go any less than 2 with Kamilla. But Cameron Brink is a beast as well. So kudos to her. I'm gonna give her shout her out. LA Sparks, man, I forgot they got a nice little tandem as well. LA Sparks got a nice tandem with Cameron and who else did they get? Rakia. I think they got Rakia and Cameron. And then we got Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark in Indiana. That's going to be a nice tandem. The Minnesota Lynx, they picked up somebody. They got a nice 2 as well. And then, of course, we got the Chicago Sky. So this is exciting time. I got 2 daughters as well, man. So I'm going to be definitely one of my baby's girls just turned 2. So now it'll be at that age where I can actually take her out and we can do stuff, do daddy-daughter dates and all that kind of stuff. We're going to hit a game, go to the city, visit the family, and go see Auntie Angel and Auntie Kamilla. Get busy on this basketball court, and I'm going to be in Sky Blue, representing Sky Blue and Gold, representing the team. I'm going to be posting about it. Y'all definitely see it. But until then, I'll be reporting, looking for any updates, checking for roster moves for the Chicago Sky. In fact, uh, we're gonna dedicate some time to the Chicago Sky and make sure, hopefully, we get a dynasty out of this, man. I'm hoping that they don't flame out again. My only worry is that the WNBA does not market these young ladies. They got a whole draft class of trailblazers coming into the league. It ain't just Caitlin Clark. She's the name. She's getting the most attention and all that stuff. And kudos to her. She should be getting this kind of light. She puts in the work as well. But we got a whole generation right now, y'all, of women ballers that can come in, not only change the trajectory of the WNBA, but change the trajectory of women's sports in all. You know what I mean? It's been a mighty long time. I would say since the '90s, since Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie. We've had sparks over. We've had Candace Parker. From her time from Tennessee to her time with the Sparks, and her professional career has been legendary. We've had individuals that we can root for. Maya Moore, Brittany Griner at one point, but we've never had an entire generation of women, and this is why I'm excited, because I used to root for the individuals. I cheer for like all those women that I just named, legendary ballers. I cheer for them when they were on their come ups and during their rises and all that good stuff. But I also recognize that it would just be one or two, and one or two drops in the ocean. You know, um, Again, there's not been a generation of young ladies like this to come into the league to garnish this kind of attention. This is NBA like stuff, y'all. You know what I mean? Where it's about to be 8 to 10 teams that get rejuvenated in one season. We don't see this kind of stuff. Um, we only see this kind of stuff in the NBA. And if you need a real life quick example, just look in San Antonio. Look at the hope. Look at the hope and the hype that they're getting now after a legendary season from Victor Wembanyama. And we gotta have a Victor Wembanyama conversation, man. Shame on the NBA, man. Shame on the NBA not giving that young man more time, more screen time. Because not only did he not just have a legendary career, I mean a legendary rookie year, he's up for Defensive Player of the Year. I would argue that Victor Wembanyama had a better Defensive Player of the Year than right now. Who's the projected favorite to win it? Rudy Gobert. I think they got some crazy stat out there that Rudy Gobert, excuse me, the last 2 seasons has like 260 blocks. In the last 2 seasons, and in this season, Wemby's rookie season alone, he has 261 blocks. Some crazy stat like that. But yeah, man, I'm just saying, like as far as the excitement that I see going on in Spurs Nation again, I love that. But now we about to get that in the WNBA, and again, like I say, it's an entire generation of young ladies, not with just the talent, not with just the accomplishments, but personalities, marketability. So, and none more exciting than my Chicago Sky. No cap, I'm biased. I like Caitlin Clark, love Cameron Brink. Uh, all those young ladies. I like this whole class, but I'm standing on business. My Chicago Sky for life, and I want them to get the dynasty. But that's all I got for y'all on this one. It is your boy Tony the Savant. If y'all don't mind, swing by the platforms, man. Facebook Tony the Savant, THEE, because Facebook is weird, won't let me do Tony the Savant. But just if you don't mind, swing by there, give your boy a follow, dropping exclusive updates and content as well on the Instagram Tony the Savant. It's traditionally spelled. On Twitter, right here, we're starting to go live. New to Twitter, X, so I'm building up the platform here with a couple shows, and as well, the Firstborn, my YouTube, man, where I post all the clips, highlights, shows, all that good stuff. So that's all I got for y'all, man. Get a goal accomplished. We'll pull back up, have another conversation very soon. It's your boy Tony the Savant. Peace.